Hey everybody, happy Saturday. I was recently asked, what are the steps if I'm a first-time home buyer or I haven't bought a house in a long time? What are the first steps I should take and in what order in order to get myself financially ready to buy a house? So here's the mistake I see most buyers make all the time. And this is experienced buyers or even first-time home buyers. They fall in love with a house. They're laying in bed on a Saturday or Sunday going through Zillow. And then once they found that house, they try to figure out the money. And by then the house is probably in escrow. It's gone. They're disappointed. They feel frustrated. It creates stress because then they feel like they got to race all the time. So today we're going to do this in the right order. I'm going to walk you through exactly what it takes to get yourself financially ready to buy a home, step by step, starting from the moment that the thought crosses your mind, all the way to when you lock in your lender. By the end of this video, you'll know your numbers, you'll know what to fix, you'll know how we walk through the process, and get yourself ready so that you're in the game all the way. So, I'm Lance Hulsey. I'm a real estate broker here in California, and I help people buy homes all the time. I've been doing it for 20 years, and I really want you guys to have a successful transaction and not be frustrated right out of the gate. So let's get into it and let's get through this process. So step one is get honest about your why and your timeline. Before you touch a single number, we have to start with the question most people skip, and that's why do you want to buy? And when you figure that out and you're realistic, everything else will start falling into place. So let's go 3 columns: 0 to 6 months, 6 to 18 months, 18 months plus. So if you're going to buy in the next 6 months, you're in execution mode. You're working with your finances today, not tomorrow. And if you're 12 to 18 months out, then you've got some time to go through and raise credit scores and pay down loans and make sure that you're financially ready to get your maximum leverage. So here, grab a notebook and let's go through this. All right, I'm going to read from my notes here. So one, your target move-in window. So that's your first one is what's your target move-in? Is it 0 to 6 months, 6 to 18, 18 plus? 2 is your why. Why are you moving? Do you need more space? Do you want to build equity? Are you getting out of a rental? Are you relocating for work? Are you outgrowing the space because your family is growing? Are you downsizing because your family's moved out and it's just you and your spouse and you guys don't need such a big house? So figure out your why. All right. So once you figured out your why, and by the way, this costs you nothing to figure this out. So this is all the planning stage. All right. So next is to pull your credit and know your score. Before you get too deep down this process, you really need to do the financial homework. So knowing your credit score before you go talk to a lender, before you start looking for houses is very helpful. So here's why. If you have a credit score below 620, if you have a credit score 620 to 679, if you have a credit score 680 to 739, or a credit score of 740 plus, all of these are going to give you different rates in which you can lend. So here's your homework. Go to annualcreditreport.com. That's the official federally authorized site, and pull your reports. I believe it's free. And you'll get 3 bureaus. You'll get the Equifax, the Experian, and the TransUnion. Now that you pulled your report and you know why you're wanting to buy, what you want to do is figure out your general score range. So most lenders like to see 620 or above. So hopefully you're at least at benchmark. That's for conventional loans. And things get noticeably better as you move up towards 740 and beyond. So FHA loans can go lower, but the stronger your score, the more options you have when it comes to getting better pricing and better rates and better deals. Second, and this is the one that most people miss, when you're looking for errors, old accounts that aren't yours, collections that you've already paid, late payments, things that never happened that were on your credit report, now's the time to clean those things up. Clean them up. So if you find a dispute, you can go to that bureau, you can argue that. They'll ask you, maybe for some backup paperwork, or if it's something that's on your credit report that's shouldn't be attached to you, you might have to prove how, this wasn't yours. So, but don't panic, you've got time because we're doing this early in the process, all right? So if it's not something that you were expecting on your credit report, you can fight it. So just remember that. Now, we're jumping ahead for a second. Some lenders that I've worked with will help you clean up your credit, but really this is something you should do on your own before you even meet with lenders, all right? All right, let's transition into step 3, which is calculate what you can actually afford. Now, this is where kind of the rubber hits the road, because this is going to be you getting a realism check, because what you think you can afford and what you actually can afford can sometimes be two totally different things. So here's the hard truth. What the bank will lend you and what you can comfortably afford are often two different things. So be realistic about what you want to make those payments. So lenders look at something called your debt to income ratio, or your DTI. That's all your monthly debt payments, including your future mortgage, divided by your gross monthly income. So I know if you go to Zillow and you see a house you like, you should go there and you can see the calculation of what potentially your monthly payment would be at current interest rates. So if you were to take, let's say, a house and you see that the monthly payment with principal, interest, tax, and insurance is going to be, that's PITI if you see that term as well. Let's say that that's going to be $3,500 a month for your payment. You got to add that to all your other monthly payments, then divide that into your gross monthly income. All right. When you do that, the general rule that lenders want for your DTI is at or below roughly 43 to 45%. And many loans get approved right up against that ceiling. But living at 45% DTI usually doesn't feel like you're winning. So try to get it below that. Now, keep in mind, that's the principal, the interest, the property taxes, homeowner's insurance, and if you're buying in an HOA, it's going to be your HOA dues as well. So somewhere between 28 to 33% of your gross income is a comfortable area. And that's what you should target and shoot for. All right. So to do this exercise, take your gross monthly income, and that's your household income. That could be you and your spouse. So, and that's all your income. So, calculate everything, not just a paycheck. If you get dividends or if you get any other kind of income, add that. Multiply it by 0.3, that's 30%. And then that's a healthy ballpark of what your monthly payment could be. So not just your mortgage, but the whole payment, including taxes and insurance. And here's my favorite stress test, and I recommend this to every buyer I work with. Whatever the future house payment would be, start paying it now into a savings account. Because if you do that, when the time comes, you can show the lender that you've already been making that payment and that you're just going to redirect it to the house payment, and you're already comfortable. So pro tip. So practice before you buy is kind of the idea. So two things will happen. One is it's zero risk and you're stacking up your savings account. So, hey, that's a win-win. All right, step 4, build your down payment and cash to close fund. So let's talk about the money you'll need on the day that you get your keys, because it's more than just the down payment. Let me repeat, 20% down is often what conventional loans want, but there are other fees to close. So if you were doing a conventional loan with as little as 3% down for qualified buyers, FHA is 3.5%. VA and USDA loans can be as much as 0 down. So keep that in mind. If you're a veteran, thank you for your service, and you get the benefit of 0% down in some cases. But waiting for years to hit that 20% while prices and rents keep going up, look at alternatives. Maybe you can't get to 20%, all right? But here's where you got to budget. Down payment closing costs can be 2 to 5%. You have inspections, you have appraisals, you have moving costs, you have reserves. You'll be paying your real estate agent a commission if you don't get the seller to pay it. So closing costs typically somewhere in the range of 2 to 5%. I would budget for 5%, honestly. I think that's a really safe number. So if you're going to put 3.5% down, really you need to budget for 8.5%. All right. Closing costs can be typically the purchase price covering lending fees, title escrow, prepaid taxes, and insurance and things like that. Your escrow company will walk you through that. You'll get a net sheet at the end right before you close. It's not a good time to figure out that you didn't save that extra money. So prepare for that up front. So add about 5%. So if you're going to put 20% down, save 25%. If you're going to put 3.5% down, save 8.5%. Does it make sense? If you're going to get a 0% down, then at least save 5% because there's fees and closing costs. All right. So 2 more quick things. Park the money somewhere safe and boring. in a high yield savings account, not stocks or crypto. Money you need within a couple of years should not be riding the roller coaster of ups and downs. And if your family is helping with a gift, which is allowed, that's great and it's common. So just know that lenders have rules about documenting the gift funds. So just make sure you track those gift funds so that you don't have a headache later of trying to show where that money came from, because they will look at your bank account balances. They will ask you what you're spending money on. They'll ask you what deposits came in and why and how. So track everything, all right? So step 5, clean up your financial profile. Now that you know your credit score and your numbers, it's time to get your financial house in order. So before the lender looks under the hood, here's a punch list. So first, pay every bill on time. Please pay every bill on time. Starting today, if you've had late payments in the past, let's get yourself cleaned up now. It's never too late, but believe me, you want to have a record of on-time payments. All right. Second, pay down your credit card balances. The percentage of your available credit you are using is the second biggest factor. So getting cards below 30% of their limits really helps. If you can get them below 10%, that's even better. So make sure that you're getting those credit cards down. And if you can get them to 0, that's the best. All right. Third, do not open new credit. Please do not open new credit. Close the ones that you don't use. Don't get a new car loan. If you have a car loan, start paying it down. Don't open new store credit cards. So, and let's see, buy now, pay later plans, not good. All right. So every application that you do dings your credit score, and that could raise your debt to income ratio. Remember, we talked about trying to get it around 30%. Don't go out and buy furniture before you buy the house. Don't do it in escrow either, because that will kill your deal. Don't go buy a new car. Don't go buy a boat because you bought a house with a dock on it. All right. Don't do any of that. Only focus on paying down your debt. Don't focus on creating new debt. That's the best advice I can give. All right. Fourth, stabilize your income picture. Lenders love to see 2 years of steady income. It's got to be documented income as well. Now, if you're thinking about switching jobs and you can wait until you close escrow, do that. Don't change jobs while you're in the process of buying a house. It's bad. If you're self-employed, like a lot of clients, it's not a deal breaker to be self-employed or 1099 income, but you need to have 2 years of tax returns. You need to be able to track everything. You need to show P&Ls, possibly profit and loss statements if you have a business. That's where you start talking to the lender about how to put yourself in the best place. Fifth in this, let your money sit still. Lenders will review roughly the last 2 months of bank statements, and the quieter and cleaner those bank statements are, the better. All right. Now, step 6. So that was, let's see. Step 6 is gather your documentation. All right. This is not glamorous. It's boring as heck, but it might save you a lot of stress if you have all of this stuff in order. So if you're a type of person who doesn't have an orderly financial picture and you don't keep orderly records, now's the time to start doing that. All right. Please start keeping records. All right, here's the standard package. The standard package almost every lender will ask you is for 2 years of W-2s, or if you're self-employed, 2 years of tax returns. Your last 30 days of pay stubs, 2 months of statements from every bank account you have or investment account, photo ID, and if it applies to you, gift letters from all the funds you got gifted. Documentation on any properties you own, on your divorce decree if you're getting support payments or making support payments, and any other income and debts that can be tracked. Make a folder, call it home purchase, put everything in one place. If you need a digital folder, call it the home purchase digital folder, put all of your digital documents in one place so that you can get these easily to the lender. All right. So now you've got your digital folder or your real folder with hard paper documents. Everything's in order. If the lender asks you for something, you can prove everything. All right, step 7, choose your lender and get pre-approved. Hey, we're getting to the fun part. All right, this is where the preparation turns into your buying power. First, know the difference between 2 words, pre-qualified and pre-approval. Pre-qualified doesn't mean anything. All right, so if somebody's giving you a pre-qualification, all that means is you're breathing and you might have a job. Pre-approval means you are ready and you've talked to a lender who's verified your income, your assets, and your credit. Pre-approval is what you're shooting for, not pre-qualification. All right? Pre-qualify is an estimate. Pre-approval means verify. You want the real thing. What you really want is to be able to pick a lender, and your real estate agent can help you with this. If you're looking at a tough market, sometimes local lenders are better than big box lenders like the banks. Your local credit unions and your local savings and loans often have great programs. Talk with your real estate agent. They can lead you towards some of the people that they've worked with. They often will give you 2 or 3 names, and you can reach out to 2 or 3 people, see who you feel comfortable with, see who has the best deals. So it's critically important that those lenders are fast in their response. In a hot market, know your local lenders and ask them, will they work on Saturday? Do they pick up the phone on Saturday? That's the difference between winning a house and not winning a house. I will tell you, if you work with me, I have lenders that will pick up the phone Saturday, Sunday, evenings, mornings. So it's very important that you work with lenders that are there and convenient and ready and willing to help you and know the local market and can call the agents, maybe on the other side, the listing agent, and talk to them about how qualified you are and why they should accept your offer. That is so important, all right? Compare rates, fees, loan options, and responsiveness. We talked about responsiveness. So don't stress about multiple credit pulls. When you rate shop your mortgage within a short window, roughly 2 weeks, scoring models do not treat all those credit pulls as multiple credit pulls. They consider it one single pull, all right? So if you're ready to go and you're talking to multiple lenders, it's just one credit pull that you get dinged, and that's just a few points on your credit. So don't, it's not gonna kill you. Unless you're right on the edge of 620, then it might hurt you. But anyway, all right. I had mentioned that your real estate agent could be your best friend when it comes to lenders. Well, step 8 is hire the right real estate agent. And this is the last step. I think it should be, honestly, before you pick a lender, because I think your agent will know great lenders. So you can flip those two back and forth, step 7 or step 8. I think hiring a real estate agent is more important first than hiring the lender, because the agent can help you also walk you through some of the pitfalls and things like that before you talk to a lender, so you're a little prepared. Anyway, I'm a broker. A broker is different than a real estate agent only in the sense that we have more education and we've taken a more difficult test. We also don't need to work for a real estate brokerage. We can work for ourselves. I happen to work with Keller Williams, even though I'm a broker, so then they call me a broker associate. Just get an experienced real estate agent. Don't get your cousin who's done one deal every 3 years. Don't get your uncle who's crazy and doesn't really even know the market. So get somebody who's been in business in the market that you're looking to buy in. I specialize in Northern California, specifically Silicon Valley and the Santa Cruz, Monterey Bay area. I know those markets like the back of my hand. I've done over 100 million of deals. You want somebody like that, all right? If you want, I can give you referrals as well all over the country. So give me a call, DM me, send me an email, and if you need a great agent in the area you're in, I'm happy to introduce you. After 20 years, I've met agents in almost every region in the United States, and I can find somebody for you, and I'll even vet them for you so that you feel comfortable. So get a local expert. What's their recent closings? What's their offer strategy? And what's their communication level like? How do they communicate? A great buyer agent is more than just someone who unlocks doors. They help you read the market. They spot problems. Here in Santa Cruz County, we have septic systems. We have point of sale ordinances. We have all kinds of hurdles to get you to the finish line. Get somebody experienced. Your agent will want to see a pre-approval letter before they sign a buyer-broker agreement often. So even though I said hire the agent first, you can still hire the agent first and get that pre-approval letter second. I do that often with my buyers if I know they're serious. All right, so let's recap. Step 1 is define your timeline. Step 2, pull your credit and fix any errors. Step 3, calculate what you can afford, not just what the bank will approve you for. Step 4, build your payment plus closing costs plus reserves. Step 5, clean up your profile on your on-time payments, lower your balances, and no new debt. Remember? Step 6, gather your documents into one folder, whether it be digital or paper. So step 7 is shop lenders and get pre-approved. Step 8 is find a great real estate agent. Or step 7 can be find the great real estate agent. Step 8 can be get pre-approved. So if you do it that order, you will be ready. And that's the best part. You will feel comfortable, no stress, and you will be ready. All right? So I hope this helped. I think I covered all the bases. So if you're thinking of buying a home, before you look at a single home, get financially ready and use this step-by-step video. All right? It'll be helpful. You can refer back to it. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to fill in the blanks if I miss something. So the most mistakes buyers make is they're not ready, but they're already out shopping. All right? So it's great to lay in bed on Sunday afternoon or Saturday morning and just shop Zillow and dream. But if you're going to get excited, you might as well be ready. And And that way you can be ready and excited and be ready to pull the trigger. All right. So, and also remember, we touched on this in the beginning, but know why you're buying, whether it be downsizing, upsizing, change of job, whatever. The change of job is a tough one because you may not be ready and you may have to go buy. So you may have to rent for a while in order to get your financial house in order and get enough paychecks from your job before the bank will approve you. So anyway, if you're ready and if you're in the Silicon Valley and the Santa Cruz, Monterey Bay Area, you know where to reach me. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, leave comments, share the video with your friends who might be buying. I hope this helps. I hope everybody has a great weekend. We're about midsummer right now when I'm filming this. So the school year is coming up and that's usually a slower time. So maybe this is a good time to get yourself started in the process so that in early fall or late summer, you're ready to go. All right. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope this video is helpful. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later on the next one. Talk to y'all later. Bye.